the plaster bare with no color or ornamentation. It's all about the details of the forms, the weight of the plaster, and the beautiful shifts in light and shade across the shapes. Jessica also chose this work, Triptych, by Irina Razumovskaya. She said, "I love to see ceramics being used in such a powerful but fragile way with Irina's work. She has these really strong shapes, but then a surface that looks like it would just blow away in a gentle breeze. It's kind of the opposite of what people expect from the material, and I think it's a fascinating work." In the context of unusual materials that we know well, here we have Hinged by Oisin Gallagher. Jessica says, "I particularly like how Oisin's piece uses shims to support and level the structure. Plasterboard and shims are the basic materials for any home improvement job, but they are something that is normally covered up and hidden once in place. Here they are celebrated for their functionality and the plastic colorful shims jar perfectly with the dry, fragile powderiness of the snapped plasterboard. That's almost poetry. Thank you, Jessica. After I read this text from her, I stared very hard at these images and even Googled shims on the B&Q website. I finally spotted them at the base of the sculpture. Without them, there's the danger of collapse, and these tiny little flashes of essential plastic, I agree, are wonderful attention to detail in this piece. Staying on the theme of builders' materials, this beautiful oil painting by David Agenio, titled Under Construction, was one of Jo Ganter's choices. She says, the choice of such an unaesthetic subject as 3 bags of waste slumped against a wall intrigued me and brought to mind Christo's wrapped objects. The painting of these shiny, pale blue sacks, each half full of rubble, I imagine, is skillful. Every crease and shadow exquisitely rendered. I'm always moved by the attention and respect of that craft skill can give to ordinary objects. It's a reason for painting in an age flooded with images that are made fast and posted. As a beautiful text for this stunning painting. Whilst we're on the subject of painting, we here present Jo's next choice, a painting in oil on linen by Anna Geerdes called Border Post. To quote Jo, painted with concentration, this simple symmetrical work is surreal rather than real. This is a metaphor for all borders. A shallow trough of soil separates 2 colorless and identical areas of grass. It leads us into a fairy tale dark forest of leafless trees. A single white cone stands on one side of the border, its shadow falling across to the other side. A metaphor for the pointlessness of borders. There's another fascinating painting by Anna in the exhibition called The Cloud. And there are so many wonderfully presented details in the show, and it's worth having a wonderful investigation over time for this amazing exhibition on the website. Artists from Europe, and indeed from all over the world, are well represented in this exhibition. Anna, whose work we saw previously, originally came from Holland, whilst here we have a selected work by convener Ade Adesina called I'm Getting Lost in the Silence. This is by a Polish artist called Zuzanna Salomon, who came to Aberdeen to study art. Ade says, her work stood out for me in various ways. The attention to detail is incredible. I felt the dedication in her work, and I also enjoyed the subject matter. Also, the ability to control the medium. The medium being charcoal on paper, I think is a very large work, about 150 centimeters tall, I might add. Susanna has an excellent short video on the In the Studio section of the exhibition website, where you can discover more about her approach to her work. We travel from inside a room where a tree grows through the table into the silence to work by Bailey Architects, as recommended by Neil Gillespie, the architect convener. Although these are just models, they convey so much. Neil says, it's been a quiet year for the architecture room, although a number of very interesting themes have emerged during lockdown. A group of projects, modest projects, centered around the idea of the Scottish house, beautifully conceived and simply presented. Amongst those, the work of Bailey Architects. House in a woodland clearing stood out, as did a series of houses in the Scottish landscape by Mary Arnold Forster. We also saw some visionary projects, including a timely exploration of how we might live in 2030 by Claire O'Connell, and some beautifully executed projects in the real world, including a wonderful concrete knot of a stair at the Royal Academy London by Sir David Chipperfield, who, although he's a Royal Academician, is also an honorary RSA. We enjoyed a powerful and evocative series of images, texts, and drawings by our invited architect, academic, Professor Elizabeth Hatz, which I'm sure you will have noticed in the previous film. Neil, thank you for your insights. Although buildings are often built of bricks, sometimes these simple, heavy materials are put to other uses. Here are two stills from an extraordinary 5-minute video piece by American artist Sarah Sudhoff called 60 Pounds of Pressure. Mary Bourne says, "This one is incredibly powerful as an evocation of the brutality of COVID. The rough, dirty, sharp bricks and the tender flesh were painful but riveting to watch, and I found myself on the edge of my seat, identifying with every labored breath and willing the person to keep going. Extraordinary." 60 Pounds of Pressure is a film of a live performance, and I hope you all get the chance to have a look at it in your own time and to listen to the video to see what Sarah Sudhoff has to say about it. For me, this explosive work seems like a rug that has forgotten how to be a rug, to have morphed into a viral or bacterial form. According to the artist, it plays on the idea that doubt can be perceived as a disease. Made of mixed fiber, polyester fabric, and latex glue, this artwork by Molly Kent is called "Trauma is a Pathological Doubt." Joe Ganter says, "The title of Molly Kent's piece is contrasted by the fabulously bizarre, colorful textile with a fuzzy surface texture, lime green blobs and fringes in orange and blue. The words trauma and doubt are woven into the darkest areas of the piece in distorted letters suggestive of mock horror film credits and are barely visible in gray on black. The process of creating it may be one of neurotic making on one hand, but by an artist who is confident and bold." To complete this fascinating selection by some of our hardworking exhibition conveners is a piece I know that has been much admired by many RSA staff and members in the creation of this exhibition. Mary Bourne puts it so well, the case for Claire Ward's two works, North Atlantic Drifter and What Goes Round Comes Around, as seen here. She says, "Of all the wonderful pieces in the show, these are the two that I most regret not being able to see in the flesh. The richness of the textures and the contrast of materials are wonderful in themselves. But the artist has trodden the fine line between allowing the quality of the materials to speak and creating an order and discipline, harnessing them to her own purpose and to her own expressive vision, work with both moral and aesthetic purpose." I hope you have enjoyed this short tour, and without further ado, I'm delighted to hand back to our president, Dr. Joyce Cairns, who will be announcing the prizes. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kate. Yes, as Kate says, it's now the moment you've been waiting for. To take you through and reveal the recipients of this year's prizes, I welcome back Dr. Joyce Cairns.
Better get my get my glasses on for this. This is the most exciting part of the evening. Unlike the new contemporaries, we don't normally have a formal prize announcement at the physical private view, but being online is a great opportunity for all to hear and view firsthand the work that has been awarded prizes by both the Internal Awards Committee and those selected by external bodies. We're enormously grateful and thank all the organisations for their generous support. It makes a huge difference to the confidence of artists and architects to receive recognition through these accolades. Now, before I start, I have a note from the RSA team to all those who will receive award tonight. Each prize winner will be contacted next week to confirm the award details, so please wait until they get in touch. And now for the prizes. And sorry I can't do a drum roll before each announcement, and apologies in advance for any mispronunciations. Right, okay, the first one, RSA Medal for Architecture, medal for the best work by a young architect in the RSA Annual Exhibition goes to Claire O'Connell. Okay, the next RSA Architecture Prize, £250 for the best work by an architect in the annual exhibition, goes to Elizabeth Hatz. The RSA Latimer Awards, we have two prizes of £250 each for meritorious work by Scottish artists under 35. The first one has gone to Kyle Noble. Yep. And the second one has gone to Lindsay Mackenzie. Okay. The RSA Benno Schatz Prize, which is £250 for the most promising work by a Scottish artist under 35, domiciled in Scotland, has gone to Alex Allen. The RSA Keith Prize, which is £250 for the best work by a student of any age studying fine art at a Scottish Arts College, has gone to Joanna Stavanika. Yeah. Great. The RSA Mayor Oppenheim Prize, £250 for a work in any medium by an artist under 35, has gone to Oseen Gallagher. The Muirhead Fund, this is purchase prize of up to catalogue price of £730 for the purchase of work by living artists, preferably in watercolours.
Joyce, sorry to interrupt. It's the RSA Otterley Prize next on the screen.
Oh, I beg your oh, right. Did I not say that one? Oh, I beg your pardon. Thank you. Oh, sorry, everybody. Right, the RSA Otterley Helen Wallace Prize, £250 for work by a female sculptor of any age, Eleanor McCulloch. Now, okay, on to the Muirhead Fund. A purchase prize up to the catalogue price of £730 for the purchase of work by living artists, preferably watercolours. And we've given out two, one to Sam Ainsley, RSA, and one to Catherine Ross. The Arnott Hamilton Fund, a purchase prize of up to the catalogue price of £960 for the purchase of pictures or drawings by an academician in the Academy's annual exhibition. We have two purchases here, and one goes to Arthur Watson, PP, RSA, and the other to Doug Cocker, RSA, for two of his works. The RSA Open Exhibition Prize, which is £500 for an artist of any age working in any medium, goes to Anthony Lucchese. Excuse my pronunciation.
Yo.
The RSA Maud Gemmell Hutchison bequest, we have two of those. And that's for the best painting or drawing of an animal in memory of George Jackson Hutchinson. One has gone to Keith McIntyre, RSA elect, and the other to Sujadi Wijaja. Great. Then finally, the next one is the RSA Guthrie Award and Medal at £750 plus a really wonderful looking medal for an outstanding work by a Scottish artist under 35. And this has gone to Emily Beanie. Okay. Right, the next one, the William J. Macaulay Scottish Gallery Award, £250 for an outstanding work in any category has gone to Kitty Jones. The Art in Healthcare Purchase Award, which is supported by the Hope Scott Trust, and this has been purchased by the hospitals and healthcare for display in hospitals and healthcare premises around Scotland. They've chosen 3, but the third one's still to be announced. So one has gone to Jim Pattison, RSA, and the other to Kirsty Behrens. Okay. Antala Solace Award. This is for the use of the studio at Antala Solace in Ullapool for up to 4 weeks. And this has gone to Christina Satholt. Okay. The Scottish Arts Club prizes, 2 awards, one for an academician and one for a non-academician, offering free membership to the club for 2 years and future solo exhibition at their premises in Rutland Square in Edinburgh. The first one's gone to Alphonse Baitotas at RSA, and the other to Sophie Whirling. The Scottish Artists Benevolent Association, SABA, award, £300 for work in any category, has gone to Susan Patterson. The Roy Wood Prize for Printmaking, that's £300 for printmaking, has gone to Kirsty Behrens again. Well done, Kirsty. The Highland Society of London Award, which is £500 for the best work by a Highlander in the RSA Annual Exhibition, has gone to Gabrielle Stuckmeiler for her film. I think you will see some of that later. Lyon and Turnbull Award for £1,000 for painting has gone to Neela Hazel. Okay. Right, I think that's them all. There are a couple of external awards which have still to be done, and they will be announced as soon as we are notified during the coming week. And one of them is the Edinburgh Art Award, and the other one is the W. Gordon Smith and J. Gordon Smith Award of £4,000 in any category. So sadly, we haven't been able to announce these tonight. So congratulations to the winners. I'm sure everyone will agree that this year the awards have gone to a very terrific and diverse selection of work. And I think they deserve another toast. So ladies and gentlemen, raise your glasses to the 2021 award winners.
Here.
Yeah.
Here.
Wish we could see them in the flesh.
Thank you, Joyce. And for me, congratulations to all and to all the exhibitors. Yeah. One of the benefits of an online private view, of course, is that you're all a captive audience right now. So you're able to sit and watch video art in a way that perhaps if you're in the galleries, you might flick past and go back and forwards. But this year, we have an amazing selection of moving image works. We'd love to show you a short selection. So here, I think, to introduce her own film is Erica Eyre, Glasgow-based artist. Are you there, Erica? You need to unmute if you are. Go straight on to the film, and then Erica, if she's able to, tell us about it.
Well, that was absolutely breathtaking. I mean, it's just so hard to believe that she's not real.
Oh, don't say that. You'll hurt her feelings.
Oh, of course. Oh, pardon me. Of course, you're very real. Yes, yes.
I'm just kidding. She's not real. She doesn't
Oh.
have feelings.
Oh, God. Of course. God, she's just
It's
so
actually a comment
funny.
that we receive
You're
all
hilarious.
the time, that she looks so real. And I think that's because the artificial intelligence industry has advanced so quickly over the past few years. Us humans really have some catching up to do.
Well, I'm certainly impressed. The other amazing thing to think about is that these models are now available for purchase.
Yes, that's right. All of our Perform Now models are available for purchase and on-demand viewing. You can now enjoy live performance art from the comfort of your living room. Look at it this way. We've all been watching movies from home forever. So why are we not also enjoying live art in the same way?
Yes, because previously many people complained that they felt uncomfortable attending an exhibition opening. I mean, speaking personally, in the past, if a friend was to invite me to an exhibition opening, and in that same breath, they might add that there will also be a live performance as part of that event, well, I might meet their invitation with a degree of hesitancy because I just don't feel comfortable.
You know what, Sophie? I can't tell you how many people have told me that they were too scared to enter a gallery. And who can blame them? I mean, going into those cold, white spaces, only to have some gallery assistant stare at you with dead eyes. I mean, the whole thing reeks of alienation. But what's sad about that is that those people are not having a chance to spend quality time with good art. But that's exactly what makes something like Anne so much more approachable.
It's just, I mean, it's a game changer, isn't it? Yeah, it's a game changer.
Unmute. Thank you very much. Is Erica now here to tell us a little bit about this work, Erica? I can see you, but I can't hear sound for some reason. I don't see that you're muted. We'll move on. We're moving on to Gabrielle Suamayer, who is exhibiting a film about her outdoor project in response to the 4,000-year-old rock art site at Ormag in the Southern Highlands. Using 300 tree stumps created through forestry, Gabrielle used lime wash to create a huge dot in the landscape, which will gently fade away. The Ormag Land Art Project is a gigantic circle measuring 150 by 150 meters. Here's just a short clip from Gabrielle's film.
The Ormag Land Art Project is basically a very large painting in the landscape. And it's an abstract painting. I've always been inspired by abstract art, and I feel that abstract art is capturing something about the essence of life. My name is Gabi Stuckemeyer, and I'm an artist. I live in Mittergeil. I'm here working on the Ormag Land Art Project, which is sitting in the landscape of the Southern Highlands next to Ormag Rock Art Site, which is a prehistoric site created over 4,000 years ago. I was incredibly inspired and amazed when I discovered the rock art sites in Mittergeil, because I felt these people who created these rock art sites were the first abstract artists. One day I was just walking away from it, and I just saw the slope next to Ormag, and the trees planted on there have been cut a few years ago, and you could just see the rows where they have been planted, and it just looked like a template. So So I wanted to create something here on the slope that is relating to the cup and ring marks. I wanted something that stood out. It was very simple and minimal. I wanted a big circle in the landscape. Well, as we walk to Ormake Land Art Project, we see an oval shape, a stretched long oval shape in the land. And when we walk past it, this shape changes into a circle. And this effect is called anamorphosis. The making process is really important in my work. I always wanted to go big, and I really always want to stretch myself to a limit, physically and mentally. Realizing this project has really given me this opportunity.
Hello there. It's great to see, and we look forward to seeing the whole thing in full on the online exhibition. I will move on, I think, to we've now got Silvia De Gennaro. She's an animator and director based in Rome, working in digital and video art. Silvia has exhibited around the world, often showing futuristic architecture and animals that combine history, industry, and fantasy. She says of her own work, in the guise of the knight locked up in a castle library, the thought will start up the mechanisms of the building, transforming the oppressive walls into a launching pad towards the space of imagination.
Τιμάνι τα θεά τραγούδα μας του ξακουστού Αχιλλέα. Ανάθεμα τι πίκρες πουδοκές τους αχαιούς περίσσιες και πλήθος αντριωμένες έστειλε ψυχές στον άδη κάτω.
fabulous. Really enticing video. Finally, let me welcome Rory Moore, director of Bard Architects, he's here to introduce his film. Rory.
Thank you, Robbie. And as Robbie said, I'm an architect from the Isle of Lewis, and I run a practice called BARD, which stands for Balchin Altaroch is Ruim Danoch, which translated into English means Townships, Architecture and Room for Poetics. It's a kind of manifesto, and at one time every village would have had a bard. But this project, Taibonia, that you're about to see, saw an old stone ruin of 2 rooms restored and converted to a retreat on the Isle of Eriskay for some wonderful clients, Andy and Janet Laverty and their family, with an incredible contractor, Paul McInnes. So this film is a story of the result, shot by Alex James and edited by Adam Smith. With thanks to Kirsten Bennett for allowing us to use the wonderful music of Martin Bennett. And also thanks to my great friend, Dolina McLennan, another Liosoch who's here just now, I think. You can give her a wave, Dolly. Who selected the poem by Hugh McDermott and also narrated the piece. And hopefully you all enjoy it. So thank you very much.
I love to go into these little houses and see and touch the pieces of furniture. I know all there is to know about their traditional plenishing and native arts and crafts. But I know them also in their origin, which is the Gaelic way of life, and can speak with equal authority about a people, one of whose proverbs is the remarkable sentence, "Every force evolves a form." In an old island room, the sense is still strong of being above and beyond the familiar. They began with the barest patterns, the purest beginnings of design in their minds, and then something converted them into artists with an exalted lyric gift. Difficult to describe, but easy to recall to anyone who has stood in such a room and been disturbed by the certainty that those who once inhabited it were sure of every thought they had.
Great. Thank you very much, Rory. And there was a little, from my vision, there was a little bit of stutteriness at the end. I don't know if everyone else caught that, but you can see the full film at the online exhibition. Okay. Before we carry on, I'd just like everybody to give each other, all the artists, all the people that support the artists and architects, a big round of applause. So just for 10 seconds, turn off your mute and a big round of applause. Thank you very much. Okay. We think this is a tremendous exhibition, but don't take our word for it. The exhibition is now live, RSA Annual Exhibition.org, and most of the works are available for sale, many very affordable. We're also hosting online open studio events on the 6th and the 20th of April, which you can sign up for on the website. So if you want to get more involved and speak to some of the artists involved in the exhibition, then do so and see what they're up to. The annual exhibition is a principal showcase for the Academy's 120 elected members whose work on committees, exhibitions, selection and awards panels, as well as their commitment and support to their disciplines, is the heartbeat of the Academy. Our work continues apace as we prepare ambitious plans for our 200th anniversary celebrations in 2026. Our ongoing programme of exhibitions, events and opportunities would not be possible without the dedicated work of our staff teams led by our director, Colin Greenslade. Huge thanks must go to our gallery manager, Flora Lathang, programme coordinator, Amy Cameron, and programme assistant, Olivia Turner, whose creative energy and professionalism has made this year's online exhibition experience so engaging. Finally, a huge thanks to all of you for taking the time to attend tonight and engage with our activities. We hope you've enjoyed it. Good evening to you all. Thank you.